Okay. So, a lot of news has gone down in the Halloween universe in the last like 2 months, and I haven't really been here to talk about it. And it's been like coming out, information coming out, and I haven't spoken about most of it. But I guess I don't know. The slump I've been in lately is I'm kind of coming out of it, and thankfully I'm making a video. Thankfully. About Halloween. Now this isn't the first video I've made recently. I did make a video about A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was meant to come out 2 weeks ago. See, Robert Englund said something over on an interview where he spoke about an idea he had for how he wanted Freddy Krueger to be if he was to make another film. And the question he was asked was how he would tackle another Elm Street film. He said this: "I would have cast different actors to play Freddy Krueger for every potential victim, because Freddy is only alive in the imagination of his future victim, so they could talk about it at a slumber party or in the locker room at school or on the school bus going home. All we know about this Fred Krueger is he wears a hat, he wears a red and green striped sweater, and he has a clawed hand." Yeah, no, Warner Brothers didn't like the fact that I was making a video about that. It may not have been because of the topic, it may have been something to do with copyright, but the video was, I made 3 different videos and every single one of them was blocked from being viewed in every single country. So, Warner Brothers, I'm sorry, please don't hate me. It's one of those things where I just wanted to make a video talking about the news like I've always been doing, and it didn't happen, so that one's out the window. But look, today we're talking about Danny McBride and what Danny McBride had said in a recent interview. Now, before we get into it, it's one of those things where as soon as John Carpenter he made a post on Facebook saying that they were going to be doing the Halloween film and he might be doing the score, maybe it could be kind of cool. Before he made that post and everyone kind of freaked out, I did not realize who Danny McBride and David Gordon Green were. Now, I do know them, I've seen them in movies before, but the name, as soon as I read the name, it didn't come into my head that, oh, that's the guy from Pineapple Express. I had no idea he was a comedian until later, after I was watching the Dave McRae video a couple months ago, and how he said, oh, it might be kind of bold for a comedian to make a horror movie type thing, but they weren't his words. It's just something along the lines of that. It was someone like Dave McRae who had spoken about Danny McBride and what they have actually done in the past, and it clicked in my head like, oh shit, he's a comedian. Like, I had no idea who Danny McBride and David Gordon Green were until I watched the video. So it's one of those things where, can a comedian make a horror movie? Absolutely. We've seen it before with American Werewolf in London. The person who made that was a comedian, and that movie turned out fucking great. And don't get me wrong, Danny McBride has made a horror movie before, but a type of horror movie. He made the most recent Alien film. It was Alien Extinction. It could have been something like that, I don't know. But he made that film, and that one was, as far as I'm aware, all the rage. So who knows, man? He could do a pretty good job at writing the script for the Halloween film. And like I said, it's kind of co-writing, so we have 2 comedians working on it, but that doesn't really shape my opinion on whether or not this film's going to be good. It's just one of those things, man. There's no one saying that if you're doing comedy movies, you can't jump into horror. You can do what you want. With people who are talented like those 2 guys, you really can do what you want. With a good company backing it like Blumhouse, what can you do? And with the support from John Carpenter, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, and is there anyone else in there in the film? No, as far as I'm aware, those are the only people who are coming back from old films. Until we see the movie, we might see more people. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of blanking it now. Shit, no, I think it's Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, and just John Carpenter who are kind of involved with the film. I know Malik Akkad is involved in the film too, which is Mustafa Akkad's son, who is involved with the original Halloween. Yeah, I think it's all we're looking at for this film. But if they think it's a good film, and they even have said that it feels like the original film, and that's the vibe they got on set, then fuck, man. I mean, yeah, heck yeah, I'm gonna give it the time of day, and I'm gonna have my hopes up for it, It's one of those things where I don't want that, though. I don't want to have my hopes up, because if I have my hopes up for Halloween and it turns out to flop, then it's just not going to be good. But look, at the end of the day, man, it's Halloween. I love Halloween. It's my favorite. It's my favorite movie in like ever. The original Halloween is my favorite movie ever. And then okay, this might get a lot of hate, but then Rob Zombie's is my second favorite Halloween film. As I love seeing 2 different kind of portrayals of Michael Myers. A big, huge, fucking giant guy like Tyler Mane, and then Nick Castle, the scrawny kind of shaped guy. You know what I mean? They're two completely different Michael Myers, but they're both fucking cool. Alright, so that's all to say about that one. But I'm going to read out what Danny McBride had said over in a recent interview. In this day and age, Hollywood is tapping into so many beloved franchise, and it seems like anytime anything comes out, there's a contingency of people that are very stoked for that news, and there's a contingency of people who are fucking pissed off and saying you ruined the childhood somehow. And I hope this thing tips more into the world of people liking it. I hope we don't ruin too many childhoods. Now, this movie has a chance of flopping, 100%. It could flop. It could be the worst Halloween movie made, because at the end of the day, if you are making a film, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, this film sucks, man. You're going to be saying, yeah, this fucking film is good. You're going to enjoy this film, and then you don't, and then that's when you start saying this movie sucks. But this movie could flop, or it could be a huge success, and if it is a huge success, which it's looking like it might be, fucking God knows Michael Myers will be back in about a year or two. It's kind of it's kind of inevitable, man, and it's the same with like the rest of the fucking slashers. Like we have Jason, Freddy, we have like Ghostface, we have people like that. We're guaranteed to see them on the big screen again in the next couple of years. Like Jason Blum even said himself he wants to get the rights to Friday the 13th, and if he wants it, he's probably going to get them. So more than likely we will see those guys come back on screen soon. But like I said, it's kind of inevitable for these things to happen, and you know, horror movies, man, it's kind of a hit and miss. You can't please everybody. You'll either love it or you'll hate it, and it's either or at this point. And I'm excited for Halloween, but I'm going to be honest, I do feel like Halloween is kind of overhyped at the minute, and people are just kind of I don't know. I don't like how much people are hyping up the film, because you know, if your expectations are way too high, you might just be kind of let down. But you know what, October 19th we'll see. About Blumhouse though, and about the choice for the production company, I think Blumhouse is a pretty good choice, as I've seen a few of the recent Blumhouse flicks, and you know what, I seen Black K Klansman on Tuesday. So today's Thursday. On Tuesday there was a special early screening of the Black K Klansman, and with that I got to see it a few days early before its release, and well, our Ireland release, but I got to see it a few days early from its release, and I got to see at the end of it the live Q&A with director Spike Lee, which I thought to be pretty fucking cool. I seen that, and then I seen Unfriended 2 when it came out, I seen The Purge when it came out, and I seen Truth or Dare when it came out. Truth or Dare would probably be on the lowest on the list, but those films were fucking great, man. Black K Klansman, that was powerful, and the end of the movie, man, that fucked me up, man. I'm not gonna lie. And if you are someone who's kind of interested in learning more about, you know, racism and stuff like that, you should watch the movie, because it was fucking great. As for Unfriended 2, I enjoyed it more than the first one. As for The Purge, not the best in the franchise, but an interesting movie if you want to watch it nonetheless. And Truth or Dare, it's something different. It's kind of silly, but yeah, it wasn't bad. So with that being said, Blumhouse are kind of killing it. They're doing really well, and I think it's really only about time that someone comes in and revives these franchises. And it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I mean, this is probably just me saying it now, but your opinion might be a lot different, and you might be someone who's a lot older than I am, and you've been around for a lot of these films coming out, and you've seen it when it came out in cinemas fucking years ago, and you might be thinking to yourself, if they have a new Scream film, fuck that, I'm not watching it, no Wes Craven. If they have a new Friday film, I'm not watching it unless Kane Hodder's in it. If they have a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I'm not watching it unless Robert Englund's in it. It might be one of those cases, and it comes down to like, honestly, it just comes down to the person watching it, man. Like, a lot of people hate on Rob Zombie's Halloween, they think it's trashy, but hell, it's horror, it's meant to be gory, it's meant to be fucking trashy. Sex has been in horror films for so long, and I don't think Rob Zombie's film is any different from a lot of other films. And yeah, maybe as a director, Rob Zombie has that kind of fucking like trashy style for horror, but I think it kind of worked in that film, you know. And you had the young Michael Myers portrayed by Daeg Faerch, I fucking butchered his name. I'm sorry, man. If he ever watches this, he wouldn't. But you know, you have the young Michael Myers, which a lot of people didn't like. I enjoyed it. I do. I don't think that it really mattered too much about him being young. We didn't need to know that, but it was cool to see nonetheless. It added time to the movie, and you got to see more. And people were kind of mad that Danielle Harris was in that, and she was like naked or half naked or something like that. Who cares? She's like, what? Right now she's like 40 years old, man. She can make choices like that herself if she wants to. She's a grown woman. People can't say what she can and can't do. Though I do understand why it would be kind of weird. If you like watch a marathon and you see her like really young, and then like next week you see her with no top on, it is kind of weird. And I'm not gonna lie, I understand why people are saying that, but at the same time, man, she's a grown woman. And then, you know, obviously the way they ended it with the second Rob Zombie film, it was kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan, but at the same time, really, what can you do? At the end of the day, there's the really good horror films, and then there's not so really good horror films. And I definitely think any horror film is a good horror film. You know, I couldn't care if I watch a bad horror film. It doesn't matter, you know. At the end of the day, I just kind of want to watch a horror film. But look, I'm going to end off the video here, and before I do, I want to say something. I'm a bit disappointed in myself for going like 2 months without uploading a video. Yeah, I've been kind of in a slump, and it's beyond YouTube too. It's one of those things where even when I'm working out, or like with going outside, or with YouTube, or with working in general, I've not been giving it 100%, and I try to give everything I do that I enjoy 100%, so I can do it. Oh shit, I just slapped the wire from my microphone. That might be very loud, I'm sorry. I like to give 100% into things I enjoy, and I haven't been doing that with YouTube and like working out and with just life in general, man. And it's one of those things where I feel like I need to apologize, because I have a passion for this. I do want to. I think, I don't know. I think I really enjoy it enough to keep going, even if things aren't going well. So I just want to say I'm sorry for the inactivity, for everything like that. I really am. Even like the videos that were being blocked and not being able to put on YouTube, I should have kept trying and tried my hardest to get them up somehow, and I didn't. I made the video a few times, and it still didn't come out, but I should have tried harder. So I want to say I'm sorry. I really am. I do want to give this my all. A change will be made before Halloween comes out. There'll be a different. I'll probably have a different name. I want to make a change that's going to help me grow. You know, because I look up to these YouTubers like Drum Dums, Dave McRae. We watched a movie. What's the guy's name? It's something Jimmy Champagne. Then Cody Leach, people like that who make like Halloween related videos. I watch them all the time because I find Halloween to be really interesting, even though I know a lot about it. Not bragging or anything. I'm not bragging, really. I'm not. I'm just kind of saying, even though I know a lot about it, there's nothing wrong with knowing something new, and I enjoy watching their videos because their personality is great. So I see people like that and how much work they put into their videos, and it just makes me want to go harder on YouTube, and it's just one of those things. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to go hard and do the best I can. So I'm sorry, I really am. I apologize. I'm sorry if the video is kind of long too. What is it? 13 minutes. Okay, probably gonna cut it down to a shorter time, but I'm gonna end the video off here. I hope you enjoyed, man. I do. Tell me what you think of Danny McBride too. Is what he's saying true? Do you think there's actually people out there who genuinely feel like their childhood might be ruined with Halloween turning out to be a bad film? Because I don't think it's true at all. I don't think anyone thinks like that. Just being honest, I don't. But yeah, I'm going to end the video off here. It's Friday. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend and relax and just... relax and relax. I don't know, what else could I say. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Where the fuck did I leave my phone? Oh, okay, here it is. Oh my god, it's 2 AM. Holy shit. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring everything back up to my room.